Story 1. If you live together and she hadn't told you ahead of time that she had plans made, it's not weird at all to ask. For me personally, my girlfriend just really doesn't go out of the house that much, so it's more weird for her to be going out without my knowledge. When she goes somewhere, she usually lets me know even without me asking. On the other hand, if you live completely separate from each other and you're just like stalking her Snapchat location, yeah, that would be very weird. Story 2, not really. If you are living together, it is standard to ask, right? Like to streamline errands, or if someone asks for you, you will have an idea of how long they will be gone or where the person can find you and so on. Also, if something happens and they do not come back, you will know where to start looking. Story 3. My now ex-wife refusing to do this suddenly was one of the first signs she was working her way up to leaving. She did some hard gaslighting about it too. Like I must have mental health issues if I want to know where she's off to at 8 p.m. on a Monday. Story 4. I ask my mom, brother, and dad where they are going every time they leave the house. It doesn't mean I'm suspicious of them cheating or anything weird. If anything, I find it weird if they don't tell me, except my brother. He has more of a private life. Also, no, it's not weird asking your significant other. It's just weird if they don't tell you. Story 5. One time, I followed my girlfriend around in my car because I suspected she was cheating on me. It turned out she was driving to the spot beneath a bridge with a bunch of stray dogs, and she was feeding them. I felt terrible. Story 6. It's weird that she doesn't tell you anyway. I can't imagine if my wife just stood up from the couch, walked out the door to her car, and left without saying a word. That would be really weird. Story 7. As a woman, know if it's a healthy relationship. It's communication and also provides moments for my boyfriend to take interest. Sometimes it provides an opportunity for him to tag along on errands, which usually ends up with us finding something new to try or reminding me not to forget something. It would be weird if my boyfriend didn't, but that's our relationship. Story 8. Kind of weird she doesn't say she's leaving or where she's going. Then again, I'm used to my housemates saying something along the lines of, I'm going to the post office. I'll be back in about 20 minutes. To me, it's weird to not say where they're going. What do you do if, God forbid, they end up missing? You can tell the police when they left, but you'd really have no clue as to where she could have been to give them a starting point for the search. Story 9. Depends on the state of the relationship and your reasons for knowing why. Controlling behavior is a strong no-go. Mutual love, care, respect, and honesty mean it's normal for her to say it even without you asking. I don't see how people wouldn't just say it naturally as a part of mutual respect and care. It's not like she has to report back if she goes to another place. That's controlling behavior, and then there is something wrong in the relationship. I guess I'm lucky because to us it comes naturally, and we have no concerns or worries as we both behave fully with respect and honesty. Even when we, of course, can become insecure, we say it directly. We need a bit more attention or simply express that we feel a bit insecure because we love each other, and it makes us worried when you are out and have been a bit quiet about things. It makes us feel sad because we want to be safe and feel safe in all aspects of a relationship in life. This often makes it easy to calm down a thought you have and a situation that can escalate due to the vulnerability of us as human beings. If she reacts defensively, then there is reason for concern, I would say. Normally, it should be taken with a positive attitude unless, of course, you do this all the time without reason due to low self-esteem or whatever. Story 10. It depends on what you are intending. If you ask out of curiosity, that is cool. If you are asking so you know when to expect them home, or for safety reasons, that is cool. If you are asking because you are suspicious or controlling, that is not cool. Story 11. It's kind of weird, but also weird she wouldn't just mention it. Like, hey, I'm heading out to shop with some friends. I want to know if I'll have time without my partner to do things. Story 12. Depends. Where are you going, what for, who with, and when will you be back? Intrusive and controlling. Where are you going? Tells you, well, have a fun time. Loving and interested. Story 13. It is weird that your partner who lives with you is leaving without telling you where she is going. I was going to say that she sounds more like a roommate than a girlfriend, but even roommates tend to tell one another where they are going. Story 14. Thinking about this, we do not even ask. We just naturally tell the other one beforehand. If I am going to go to the store to pick something up, I tell her. It's basically the same for her. We don't necessarily tell every single store we will go to, but more the general idea of what we are going to do. In a new relationship, it may be weird, but once you have been together for 8 years, you do not want the other one to worry, so you give them a heads up. Or that is at least how my relationship has worked. Story 15. It is only weird if it is one-sided. Other than that, it is fine. It is important to know what the other is doing to know when to expect them to return, among other things. Story 16. I do not really care, but she wants me to constantly ask her where she is going because she likes to be controlled a bit. Even though I am not the controlling type of person. But yes, it is kind of weird since it edges on the controlling side, but if she wants that from you, then no foul. Story 17. Not weird at all. God forbid anything happens to her, you will know where she was headed. My girl and I check in with one another if we are significantly behind schedule or running late somewhere. My sister once left the country to travel Europe and didn't tell my parents. I only found out when we were video chatting and communicated how dangerous that is. Tell somebody where you're going if you're a girl. There are too many small-minded weirdos out there walking around to be naive to the horrors in this world. Story 18 depends on the girl. Just ask her if she thinks that's weird. Some people might see it as a sign of interest and care, while others might feel like it's intrusive. The key is communication. Story 19. No, I mean if you live together, she should be telling you where she is going. It's just polite to let your partner know where you are going. Although just saying you are going out is still an answer, as sometimes you just have to get out and don't know where you are going. Story 20. If you're asking as a general conversation, what time are you going to be home so I can plan, etc., that's fine. If you're doing it to monitor or police her, that's a bit different. Story 21. No. Things happen. She could get in an accident. Nowadays, there could be a shooter at Walmart. And, as always, women can be sexually assaulted, abducted, or followed from anywhere. There was a time just telling my significant other where I was going enabled them to find me when I ended up on the side of a dangerous highway with a flat tire and no spare. I had no service and a phone at 4% since I left the charger cord at home. When I was finally able to get through, all I had time to say was, I got a flat. Boom, the phone died. Trust me, I felt stupid, but they were able to find me almost immediately just because I yelled out, Hey babe, I have to run to the country store to get some milk. Be back in 30. Story 22. One day he went hunting early in the morning. When he was getting set up, he fell in the water, and his waders started filling up with very cold water. He had his hands full of items he didn't want to drop, and he ruined his phone. He almost drowned that day. Now, I request that he tell me which of the 5 nearby lakes he is going to so I can maybe help if needed. Story 23. I always ask when my girlfriend heads out, not so much regarding what she's doing but more so the following. If she's coming home for lunch or dinner, if I want to buy something that she can get on the way, how long she is going to be gone so I can relax. Probably seems weird or untrusting to some people, but it's a quick 5-second exchange that can help me plan my day. If your significant other asking you every time you head out is annoying, maybe have a talk. Story 24. The distinction lies in whether they need to tell you for permission or you would like that information out of curiosity or to be safe in knowing where each other are. Story 25. It depends on the intention behind asking. If you are asking because you are genuinely curious, definitely not weird. If you are asking because of safety reasons, maybe you live in a bad area, that's cool too. However, if you are asking because you are worried she is going to be around other men or women, depending on your sexuality, that screams trust or control issues, and that is something you need to talk to her about as soon as possible. Regardless of your intentions, you should ask if it bothers her and go from there. She is the only one who can answer this question correctly. The rest of us are just giving our own opinion on a situation we know nothing about. Story 26. Regardless of gender, most normal people would announce where they are going if you live together and are a couple. My kids and I would be worried about my wife if she was just randomly leaving without announcing. Unless it's a routine operation that the partner should be aware of, like going to the gym on a specific day and time. Story 27. No, I ask my boyfriend all the time. I want to know who he is with so I know that he will be around people he knows and that he is going to be safe. It's also good to know who to call in case of an emergency if he gets injured or loses his phone. Story 28. I think it depends on the nature of the girl and the relationship. Some women might like that you are aware of where they are so that you would know if something bad happened. Others might value their privacy and do not want to be accountable to you. If you prefer the former, there is not anything wrong with that, but it would probably be a sticking point to having a relationship with the woman. Story 29. Not really. It sounds like there is a lack of courteous communication on her end. You are just wondering what she is up to. It is like asking about someone's day. Also, it lets you know, hey, where's my wife? Oh, that is right. She is at Home Depot. Story 30. Nothing wrong with it. If she is going to the store, I might need something. If something happens, I would want to know where to start looking. It might be somewhere I want to go to. Story 31. Yeah, not because it's important, but because it's a common thing to say. No different than a friend leaving, a coworker leaving a conversation, or anything else. Her not being like, hey, boyfriend, I'm heading over to a certain place, is weird. And this isn't about being insecure. When most people leave somewhere, they say where they're going. Story 32. If she doesn't voluntarily tell you where she's going, then it's a red flag. You shouldn't have to ask. I had roommates that would stop by and let me know they were going somewhere. I did the same for them. Story 33. No. My partner and I live in a rough neighborhood, a rough city. My girlfriend can't even leave the house unless she's going to work. She's an elementary teacher, so early mornings in the sunlight. Even if it's that time of year when it's still dark when she needs to leave, I'll walk her to her car. She only goes out with friends or family, and I have to know them all, have their phone numbers, and know where they're going and where they'll be the whole time. I know it sounds a little obsessive, but I promise it's not being overprotective. I've lost 3 male friends and 2 female friends in 3 years here. There's no, you all should give each other space kind of talk. It's real. I let her know everywhere I go because I know if things get bad, at least they'll have no problem finding me. As for her, I'm not even giving anyone the opportunity to hurt her. Story 34. Intent determines the answer. If the intent is to control her, no, not okay. If the intent is being interested, yes, fine, always a bit much though. The line between these options is very thin. Story 35. I'd say in general it's a good habit to tell whoever you share a home with, such as a roommate, parents, siblings, or relatives, when you're stepping out and will be out for a while. Keeps everybody situationally aware. Maybe it's how we were brought up, but indicating to whoever is at home at least that I'm stepping out, and at most exactly where I'm going and for what is something we've always done. Story 36. I used to be overly concerned until I realized that I was the person behaving poorly, and I was afraid my girlfriend would do the things I used to do, primarily lying and cheating. Now I've been with the same girlfriend for 10 years, have never cheated, and life is a lot easier. Story 37. Assuming you live together. No? I would say it is extremely rare for my wife and me to not let each other know if we are going out and what the general plan is. It isn't like it is a permission thing. It is necessary for being able to plan the day, though. Story 38. I never did. Turns out she is cheating. So much for me being a nice, trusting boyfriend. If girls wonder where all the good guys went, we just don't care anymore. Story 39. For me, it just goes with effective communication. How would she feel if you just up and left? The context behind what prompts the questioning may help to better understand. As for me, I trust my wife or she wouldn't have become my wife. It's more about respect, and the picky details aren't always important unless there's something more to it. Story 40. It depends on why you are asking. I usually tell my wife where I am going as I am leaving because she, 1. Might want to come with me, might want something from where I am going, for example, the supermarket or the free kitten store. If I am not back within a reasonable time frame, I would like for her to have some leads as to where to direct the cadaver dogs. She does the same. Story 41. Are you asking because you need to know where she is at all times? If so, then it is a controlling behavior. If not, no, definitely not weird, and it is a sign of caring and showing interest in your significant other. Story 42. If you are there when she leaves, that is not weird at all. If my boyfriend left the house with no explanation, I would be curious. I would assume he would be too. It just seems like a common formality like, okay, I'm going to destination. See you later. Story 43. I guess it depends on how you're asking. Like, a casual question is fair enough. I might want to put dinner on and know how many people I'm cooking for or something. But an interrogation would be weird, like demanding exact time frames or a rundown of everyone there and what they're doing, etc.